Hello, this is Jorge Muraz. This is my web application. It's called medipred. The technologies that I'm going to use for this project are React as the UI, the front end, Django as the backend to retrieve information from the database. I'm going to implement a PostgreSQL database so I can store all the information securely and then retrieve it from the Django and then consume it from React. So first, I created a form in here, a login form. The users are created on the backend because this application is not going to be available for the public. It's going to be a private application. So I have to create the admin roles on the backend, and then once we are signed in, we can create different roles. First of all, I created some validation in here. So this field needs to be um, filled, so we cannot leave them blank. Also, if the user and password does not exist, the system will tell you whether it's an invalid username or password. So right now I'm just going to log in with the only account that I have, which is an admin account. So if I press login, it's going to show the main dashboard. Right now I don't have any graphs in here, but the idea is to put some graphs in here. For example, patients information, patients' risk of getting certain diseases, and appointments in here. So I'm still thinking of which graphs I'm going to include in here, but we're gonna use some libraries from React to generate some graphs in here. Also, I created these menus in here for both the user icon and the hamburger menu. There are different models. The only models that I have implemented is the patients and the analytics sub menu. So if I click on analytics, it's going to show me this sub menu in here. This was made with React, and the styles I made them with CSS. Right now the buttons are not functional, but I'm going to create different features for each button. So basically in here I'm going to create a model where you can create some graphs and then predict if the patient has a risk of getting diabetes or some disease in here. So that's something I'm going to implement next week using a machine learning model. The next screen that I have created is a patient's one. So right here, if you see, I created a table which displays information about the patients that are created in the system. Right now, I made this application so it can only be used in the web, so it's not responsive on mobiles, but it's kind of responsive if you made the screen smaller. You have a scroll bar in there so you can get all the information. Also, if I make the screen the height less height, there's another scroll bar in there, and it doesn't overlay the parent component. Next, I created these buttons in here. They all have hover effects. The only one that I have implemented is the add patient one. In here, there's inputs for different fields. I put a star in here because those are going to be required. Right now, nothing of this is saved in a database. It's just visual. And when the idea right here is to input all the information for the patient, click save, and then the information is going to be saved in the database. And based on all of this information, I can predict with my machine learning models different diseases for the patient. But right now is I just created the component and that's it. Okay. So lastly, right here, I created this menu in here. Nothing is functional yet. Right here only displays the current user that's logged in, the email, and then I created a feature to log out from the app. So this is the application that I made when I was doing the research. I learned different stuff from React, Django, and PostgreSQL database. I learned how to communicate each system and connect them together. So I'm still going to do some research to implement other components in my application, but so far this is all that I've done.